And with the Astral Kingdom, how do you see the self-development throughout the community? Like how would we go about that, Andrew?
Yeah, so right now we have the channels, and I'll pull it up right now. We have, like right now, the affirmation channel is probably my favorite, where I just, whatever feeling I have in the moment, I'll just type it down and allow others to read it. And I read others, and I feel like, all right, I vibe with that one, I don't with this other one. And ultimately, I see that as like a net positive. And then you multiply that times the 11 or so other channels that we have based on other niches about life, such as like becoming sovereign or the dream interpretation or health and fitness. Like there's so many different things that should be tailored to any individual, maybe all of them or just one or two. Overall, I think there's a lot of potential there to at least learn or share experiences in some kind of empowering way. Alex, do you have
Uh,
any take on that?
Yeah, I think it was like last night. I was staying up pretty late doing some work.
Yeah.
I was kind of figuring out like maybe stressing out a little bit too much. And one thing that I usually go back to is kind of look at my phone, and I have like this list of quotes that I find really inspirational. So that's something I always revert back to when I'm kind of at a low. And I think a lot of people, if they took the time, I think they would really get a lot from that, because it's sometimes like that extra boost that you need to get you through that last problem, or to get you through that day. When you hear someone else encouraging you and kind of like being a cheerleader for you, that really makes you want to push forward and really achieve your goals. So I think a lot of people would really appreciate having someone always writing down affirmations, or making sure that you're going to be okay, or that they're looking out for you, and that people do care about you.
Alex, I love that. I mean, when you think about in like the day-to-day lives, when people have interactions, like for instance, in like high school, there's always, you got your popular group, you got your nerds, you got your athletes, and then you just have those regular people that are just going to school because they have to. And they don't usually have a support system that allows them to really maintain a positive outlook on what their lives are going to be like. And in the instance of the U.S., we have one of the highest suicide rates. And that is 100% a first world problem. We don't know how to find real happiness because of how greedy this country is, because we are so capitalistic, and we don't value people's lives. We value people's efforts. We value what people can do for other people. We don't value, oh, what is this person doing that's so creative or so unique to this person. And I feel like with this Discord channel and any other things that we create, we're allowing people to really get to see what their value is, like how we and other people in the Discord value each other. And I think that that's probably one of the most important things to keep moving forward is um if you can't get value from other people and you don't know your own self-worth yet, you're bound to fail. And
Yeah.
if we're giving a space for people to not only show that they care about others, but also allow for people to find their self-value, their self-worth, we're going to grow the creativity of multiple people. So I think that that's extremely important.
Yeah, and going off that, like you said, with the people in high school that kind of go there, they don't really have their solid group of friends, their support network in their school. So maybe they'll go home and play some video games where they have a close community of people that they maybe know personally, or maybe don't have never actually met in person before. And I feel like that's not really going anywhere. So we might as well tailor towards that, at least to some degree. And I feel like with the metaverse, maybe you'll be doing quests and other games, and you'll be getting experience points and leveling up whatever your item is. I feel like we can do that, but with the spiritual progression or maybe physical progression or something like that. So
Yep.
that's where the idea comes in with the chakras, where maybe you can have a clan of people and you're all trying to gain your heart chakra in some way. So you go and you do this charitable event that gives love to others or something like that. Like there's so many different possibilities. And if you're able to perform those tasks and then be given an upgrade to your NFT, which then you can sell for money, or just maybe like show off to whatever kind of girl you're trying to impress or what have you. There seems
Yeah.
like that's more worth the time in my eyes than playing a video game where you're just getting experience points or something.
I definitely agree, and I feel like it would allow people to continue to gain real meaning instead of just having a facade of something that's completely virtual. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that it would allow people to that especially would allow people to stay connected to the real world and real world issues, and not really just get to escape. That's fantastic.
Mhm. Yeah, it is quite sad how superficial things have gotten, and I think that's kind of our responsibility to kind of try and end that wave that has come across like our generation. Unfortunately, we are pretty much the first generation to deal with social media, and nobody really was understanding what was being put in front of us, especially when you're in high school. Like you were saying, you're having all these images thrown at you, all these perfect people, or these perfect bodies and how they're represented. And at the end of the day, you're 14 or you're 15, you don't know that that's fake, you don't know that that's not real. You haven't developed anything, you haven't seen that much. So I think that's going to be one thing that we should really take seriously, is helping these kids move away from that and understand that there's a lot more to life than all those superficial aspects.
I would say I'm optimistic in that way. It seemed like the first wave was maybe these Instagram models that were showing off their bodies, but now I see on Twitter there's a whole wave of these pseudonymous individuals that maybe their username is something.eth and then the profile picture is an NFT where there's no link to an actual person, but they're consistent in that name and account every single time they post. And at that point, they're not really showing their worth by showing off their bodies or something like that. I think that's kind of the trend that's going on right now, where maybe the young kids will see that like, well, it's not really tied to me as an individual, it's more so like what I can contribute given this identity that I embody in the realm of the technology or the internet or what have you.
Yeah, valuing the creativity of the mind is so much more important than looking at someone's body. Because I it's funny, but like now if you see someone post on Instagram or it's like a supermodel or something, at our age now we can be like, oh yeah, this person has lip injections, they got a BBL, or they got what is it called, when you get like the boobs, the bigger boobs, they have breast implants, and you can automatically tell because it does not look natural. But for the younger kids, they're looking at this and like, oh, this is going to be the perfect girl, I need to find a girl like this. But in reality, they will never find that. And for those people, they're always looking for something so superficial. So in the real world, they're going to be looking at everyone and being like, oh, you guys are trash. But it's not giving value to the people. They could be beautiful, but like, or they could be like the best looking guy ever, but it doesn't matter, because to them, they're like, oh, I need to be like the biggest guy on Instagram, or I need to be like this hot model on Instagram. And it just leads to all this negativity. So
and it seems like, yeah, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, like, the root of that seems like you're forming your own idea of what you're attracted to based on what society kind of projects as what's attractive based on these social scores or something. And that seems like there's a need for people to kind of go within and feel like, why am I attracted to this or that? And what benefit does it have to me and those around me? So I feel like, again, that's why this meditation kind of circles, or maybe some kind of discussion group on the Discord could be beneficial in helping people come to that more of an individualist concept of what actually is meaningful to them, whether that be attraction or what have you.
Yeah, and that I think that's the most important point that we need to have and we need to keep. Self-preservation, not allowing trends that are posted by the 1% to sway our thinking on others. It's almost like keeping your mind as innocent as possible, not allowing yourself to just dive into something that you definitely know can be 100% wrong, and really just putting an emphasis on keeping your mind true to yourself.
Yeah,
gotta keep your integrity.
Yeah,
I completely agree.